The glass shattered. Everyone in the restaurant froze as the expensive wine glass slipped from the man's hand and exploded across the marble floor. "I'm so sorry," Maya gasped, already dropping to her knees. Her hands shook as she tried to clean the mess, heart pounding so loud she barely heard the whispers around her. "That's a Cole Enterprises client," someone muttered. Maya swallowed hard. Of course it was. It was always someone important. "I'll clean it, sir," she said quickly, not daring to look up. "I swear I didn't mean." "Stop." The word was calm. Cold. Sharp. Maya froze. Slowly, she lifted her head. The man standing over her looked nothing like the others in the restaurant. Tall, broad-shouldered, perfectly tailored black suit. A watch on his wrist that probably cost more than her yearly rent. And his eyes, gray and unreadable, were locked on her face. "What's your name?" he asked. "And Maya," she replied. He studied her for a moment, like she was a problem he hadn't expected to solve tonight. "Get up," he said. Her manager rushed over. "Sir, I apologize." "She's new. The wine will be comped." "I didn't ask for an apology," the man said coolly. "I asked her to get up." Maya stood, cheeks burning. "I'll replace the glass," she whispered. "No," he replied. "Sit." "What?" "Sit," he repeated, nodding toward the empty chair across from him. The restaurant went silent. Maya's manager's eyes widened. "Sir, I'm not asking twice." Maya hesitated. Every instinct screamed don't. But something in his voice made refusal impossible. She sat. Up close, she noticed the faint stubble along his jaw. The way his posture radiated control. Power. "You work here," he said, not a question. "Yes." "How long?" 3 months. "Why?" The question caught her off guard. "Why, what? Why are you a waitress?" Her fingers curled into her apron. "Because I need the job." He tilted his head slightly. "Honest." She waited for him to yell. To complain. To demand compensation. Instead, he leaned back in his chair and said something that made her stomach drop. "Pretend to be my wife." Maya blinked. "I'm sorry." He pulled his phone from his pocket, unlocked it, and slid it across the table. On the screen was a news article. "Cole Air refuses to settle, family demands public commitment." She looked back up, confused. "My family wants me married," he said. "By next month." Maya laughed nervously. "I think you have the wrong person." "No," he said. "You're exactly who I need." Her pulse raced. "Sir, I can't." "I'll pay you." Her laughter died instantly. "How much?" she asked before she could stop herself. He named a number. Her breath caught in her throat. That amount could change everything. Her mother's medical bills. Her overdue rent. Her brother's tuition. Her entire life. "This isn't funny," she whispered. "I'm not joking." She shook her head. "I'm a waitress. I don't belong in your world." "That's precisely why it works," he replied. "You're invisible. No scandals. No ambitions to trap me." Her chest tightened. "I'm not a thing you can rent." He met her gaze evenly. "Everyone has a price, Maya." Silence stretched between them. Her hands trembled. "I need time," she said. "You have 10 seconds." She stood abruptly. "I quit." Gasps rippled through the restaurant. She turned to leave. "Maya," he called calmly. "Your mother's hospital is St. Anne's, right?" Her blood ran cold. She spun around. "How do you know that?" "I do my homework," he replied. "And her surgery is scheduled next week. The deposit alone is more than you make in 6 months." Tears burned her eyes. "You followed me?" "I researched you." Her voice shook. "You had no right." "Neither did life," he said quietly. She hated that he was right. "I won't touch you," he continued. "We'll live separately. Appear together in public. 1 year." 1 year, she repeated. "At the end, you walk away debt-free." She swallowed hard. "What's your name?" she asked. "Ethan Cole." The name hit her like a punch. That Ethan Cole. The billionaire whose face was everywhere. The man people feared. Loved. Envied. She stared at him, terrified. "You'd really do all that," she whispered, "for a fake wife?" His eyes darkened. I'd do worse to protect my freedom. Her heart pounded. If she said no, everything stayed broken. If she said yes, she stepped into a world that could destroy her. When? She asked. Tonight. Her breath hitched. That's insane. So is poverty, he replied evenly. She closed her eyes. Thought of her mother lying in a hospital bed. Thought of eviction notices. Thought of how tired she was of choosing dignity over survival. Fine, she said quietly. But you don't own me. A flicker crossed his face. Good, he replied. I don't want ownership. I want obedience. Her stomach dropped. And, just like that, the deal was sealed. She didn't know it yet, but that moment would ruin him far more than it ever ruined her. If you're enjoying the story so far, like the video and subscribe. For more billionaire romance stories filled with kindness, power struggles, and unexpected love. Ethan didn't speak again until they were in the car. The door shut with a heavy thud, sealing Maya inside a world that smelled like leather and money. She folded her hands tightly in her lap, staring straight ahead. You didn't have to threaten me, she said quietly. I didn't threaten you, Ethan replied. I informed you. She scoffed. That's the same thing when you're a billionaire. He glanced at her briefly. You're not wrong. The car moved smoothly through the city, climbing higher, quieter, richer. When they stopped, Maya stepped out and tilted her head back. The building rose into the night like a fortress. This is where you live? She asked. For now. Inside, everything gleamed. Marble floors. Floor-to-ceiling windows. Silence so thick it pressed against her ears. This place doesn't feel lived in, she murmured. It's efficient, Ethan replied. An older woman approached them, composed and sharp-eyed. Mr. Cole, she said, then looked at Maya. And this must be my wife, Ethan said smoothly. The word hit Maya in the chest. Oh, the woman said, arching a brow. Congratulations. Ethan didn't look at Maya as he spoke. This is Helena. She manages the household. Helena's gaze swept over Maya, her shoes, her posture, her nervous hands. I'll have the guest room prepared, Helena said coolly. No, Ethan said. She'll take the master. Maya turned sharply. We didn't agree to that. We agreed to appearances, he replied. Separate bedrooms raised questions. Her jaw tightened. Helena nodded once. I'll make arrangements. As they walked down the hallway, Maya stopped. Wait. Ethan turned. We need rules, she said. Clear ones. He studied her for a moment, then nodded. Agreed. They entered his office. Glass walls. City lights. Ethan pulled out a document. A contract, he said. Of course it is, she muttered. He slid it across the desk. Rule 1, he said. You don't fall in love. She laughed bitterly. Trust me, that won't be a problem. Rule 2, he continued. You don't embarrass me. What does that mean? It means you listen when I correct you. You watch. You learn. Her hands clenched. I'm not your pet. No, he said. You're my wife. She flinched. Rule 3, he added. No intimacy. Her heart raced. Good. And Rule 4, he said softly, you don't leave without telling me. She looked up sharply. I'm not a prisoner. You're an investment, he replied. And I protect what's mine. The words sat heavy between them. She signed. The pen felt heavier than it should have. Later that night, Maya stood in the massive bedroom, staring at the bed that looked untouched by sleep. Ethan stood at the doorway. You'll need clothes, he said. Tomorrow. I have clothes. Not for my world. I don't want your world, she snapped. He stepped closer. Then don't act like it scares you. She met his gaze. It doesn't scare me. It disgusts me. Something flickered in his eyes. Get some rest, he said. The door closed. Maya sat on the edge of the bed, heart pounding. This wasn't survival anymore. This was war. The next morning, Maya nearly collided with him in the kitchen. He was in a crisp white shirt, sleeves rolled up. She wasn't prepared for how human he looked like this. Coffee? He asked. She hesitated. Sure. He handed her a cup. Their fingers brushed. She pulled back immediately. He noticed. You don't have to flinch every time I'm near you, he said. I don't trust you. That's fair. She took a sip, then winced. This is awful. He smirked. You're drinking it wrong. Coffee doesn't come with instructions. It does in my house. He reached over, adjusted the machine, poured her another cup. She watched him silently. Thank you, she said finally. He paused, surprised. You're welcome. Later that day, Helena escorted Maya to a boutique. The saleswomen stared. Dress her, Helena instructed. Tonight's dinner matters. Maya tried on dresses she'd only seen on magazines. When she stepped out in a deep blue gown, the room went quiet. Helena's lips curved slightly. He chose well. That night, Ethan watched her descend the stairs. For the first time, he forgot to speak. Maya stopped halfway down. Is something wrong? No, he said, voice rougher than intended. You look appropriate. She raised an eyebrow. That's the nicest insult I've heard. At the dinner, his family stared. Whispers followed. Ethan placed a hand on Maya's lower back. She stiffened. Smile, he murmured. She did. One woman leaned in. How did you meet? Maya opened her mouth. Paris, Ethan interrupted smoothly. She spilled wine on me. The table laughed. Maya's smile faltered. Later, she pulled him aside. That was my story. I improved it. You humiliated me. I protected you, he snapped. Silence fell. Don't confuse control with care, she said quietly. That night, Ethan lay awake. For the first time. The deal didn't feel clean. It felt dangerous. And for the first time in years, he wondered if he was losing control. Backhand index pointing right if you're still hooked. Like the video and subscribe, the emotional storm is just beginning. The scandal broke 3 days later. Maya found out the way she always did, by accident. She was in the kitchen with Helena when the television mounted on the wall flashed Ethan's face across the screen. Colaire's sudden marriage raises questions. Maya froze. The anchor's voice continued, sharp and curious. Sources claim the mysterious wife was previously unknown to the Cole family's inner circle. Helena muted the TV slowly. They're circling, Helena said calmly. They always do. Maya's chest tightened. They're talking about me. Yes, Helena replied. And they won't be kind. As if summoned by the words, Ethan walked in. What's wrong? He asked. Maya turned to him. Your life just swallowed mine. He looked at the TV, then back at her. I warned you. No, she said. You warned me about money. Not about being hunted. His jaw tightened. I'll handle it. You always say that. That afternoon, Ethan insisted she attend a charity luncheon. I don't feel ready, Maya said. You don't need to feel ready, he replied. You need to be visible. She stared at him. I'm not a shield. You're my wife. The word didn't comfort her anymore. The luncheon was brutal. Eyes followed her. Smiles cut like knives. One woman leaned in too close. So, what restaurant did you work at? Maya stiffened. Ethan answered smoothly. She doesn't work. Oh, the woman laughed lightly. Of course not anymore. Maya excused herself, breath shallow. In the bathroom, she gripped the sink as tears threatened to fall. She told herself not to cry. Not here. Not for them. The door opened. Ethan stepped inside, locking it behind him. You shouldn't be in here, she whispered. You're shaking, he said. She laughed bitterly. Congratulations. Your world won. He hesitated. Come home. No, she snapped. I need air. Outside, paparazzi waited. Cameras flashed. Maya, did you marry him for money? Are the rumors true? Her breath hitched. Ethan stepped in front of her instantly, hand firm on her waist. That's enough, he said coldly. Move. They didn't. Something inside him snapped. Back away, he growled. Now. They did. In the car, Maya stared out the window. Thank you, she said quietly. He didn't answer. That night, she didn't come to bed. Ethan found her curled up on the couch, knees to her chest. I didn't sign up for this, she whispered without looking at him. I know. Her voice broke. I feel stupid. Exposed. He sat on the floor in front of her. I should have prepared you better. She looked at him then. Really looked. You don't apologize, she said. I'm learning. Silence stretched. My mom called today, Maya said softly. She asked if I was happy. He swallowed. What did you say? I lied. Something twisted in his chest. The next morning, Maya woke with a fever. By noon, she collapsed. Ethan carried her to the hospital himself. When the doctor asked questions, Ethan answered every one. She hasn't been eating. When was the last time she slept? His hand never left hers. Later, when Maya woke, she found him asleep in the chair beside her bed. She watched him quietly. The billionaire. The tyrant. The man who bought her life. Sleeping like a guard dog. When he woke, embarrassed, she said, You didn't have to stay. I wanted to. That word lingered. Wanted. Days passed. Something shifted. Ethan started noticing small things. How Maya flinched when raised voices echoed. How she always left food on her plate. How she smiled for others but cried alone. One night, he found her in the kitchen at 2 a.m. I couldn't sleep, she said. Me neither. She hesitated. Why did you really choose me? He answered honestly. Because you wouldn't want me. She blinked. That's sad. He exhaled. Yes. She studied him. You know, people don't fall in love because they're trapped. They fall because they're seen. The words lodged in his chest. The next week, Ethan canceled a meeting to attend Maya's mother's surgery. He sat beside Maya in the waiting room. She looked at him, stunned. You didn't have to do this. I know. Her eyes filled with tears. Why are you here? He hesitated, then said quietly, Because I care. It was the first time he admitted it out loud, and it terrified him. That night, Maya hugged him. Just once. Just briefly. But it unraveled him completely. As she pulled away, he realized something dangerous. The deal was breaking. And this time, he wasn't the one in control anymore. Backhand index pointing right if this story is pulling you in. Like and subscribe so you don't miss the ending. The hardest choices are still coming. Ethan realized he was in trouble the night he felt jealous. It happened quietly. Dangerously. They were at another event, an unavoidable one. Investors. Board members. Smiles sharpened to weapons. Maya stood beside him in a soft ivory dress, posture straight, chin lifted. She looked calm. Too calm. A man approached them, tall, charming, wearing a familiar grin. Maya, right? He said warmly. I'm Daniel. We met at the luncheon. She smiled politely. Yes, hello. You look different tonight, Daniel continued. Relaxed. Ethan's jaw tightened. She's always relaxed, he said flatly. Daniel chuckled. Lucky man. Maya glanced at Ethan, surprised by his tone. Daniel leaned closer to her. If you ever need a break from all this, let me know. I know what it's like being new to this world. Ethan's hand moved to Maya's waist. Firm. Possessive. She's not available, Ethan said. Daniel raised his hands. Didn't mean anything by it. But the damage was done. Maya pulled away slightly. You didn't have to do that. I absolutely did. I can speak for myself. He lowered his voice. Not when men like him think they can touch what's mine. She froze. What did you just say? Ethan exhaled sharply. That came out wrong. No, she said quietly. It came out honest. They didn't speak on the ride home. That night, Maya lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The word echoed in her mind. Mine. The next morning, she found the contract again. She hadn't meant to. It was tucked neatly in a drawer in Ethan's office. She read it slowly this time. The clauses felt colder now. The exit terms. The silence agreement. The part where it stated, clearly, that she would receive nothing if she breached confidentiality. Her chest tightened. She realized something terrifying. No matter how kind Ethan had been lately, this was still a cage. That afternoon, she packed a small bag. Just essentials. Just in case. Ethan came home early. He found her in the bedroom, folding clothes. What are you doing? He asked. She didn't look up. I need some space. He frowned. From what? From you. His chest tightened. Did I do something? Yes, she said softly. You forgot this was supposed to be temporary. I never forgot. You did, she replied. The moment you started acting like I belonged to you. He stepped closer. I never said. You didn't have to, she interrupted. I felt it. Silence pressed in. You're not leaving, he said finally. She met his gaze. You don't get to decide that. The paparazzi. I don't care. The contract. There it is, she said bitterly. That's all this ever was to you. He reached for her arm. She pulled away. Don't. Fear flashed across his face. He had never been afraid of losing anyone before. I don't want to lose you, he said. Her voice shook. Then let me choose. She walked past him. He didn't stop her. The elevator doors closed. And just like that, the house went silent again. 2 days passed. Then 3. Ethan didn't sleep. Didn't eat. Didn't work. When Helena finally spoke, her voice was calm but firm. You're unraveling, she said. I deserve it. She was never the weak one, Helena added. You were. That night, Ethan went to his father's house. The man barely looked up from his glass. She left, Ethan said. His father scoffed. Of course she did. I think I love her. That got his father's attention. You don't love, he said coldly. You acquire. Ethan stood. That's where you're wrong. He left before the argument could destroy what little resolve he had left. The next morning, Ethan made a decision. A real one. He tore the contract in half, then into pieces, then burned it. When Maya returned to the small apartment she used to live in, she expected relief. Instead, she felt hollow. Her mother noticed immediately. You ran, her mother said gently. Maya shook her head. I survived. Sometimes they're the same, her mother replied. But sometimes they're not. That evening, there was a knock at the door. Maya opened it. Ethan stood there. No suit. No watch. Just him. I ended it, he said. She frowned. Ended what? The deal, he replied. The contract. The control. She crossed her arms. Why? Because I don't want to own you, he said. I want to choose you. Her eyes filled with tears. You don't get to show up and say that now. I know, he whispered. That's why I'm not asking you to come back. She stared at him. I'm asking you to stay gone, he continued. Unless you want to return on your own terms. Silence. Her heart pounded. Why are you doing this? She asked. Because loving you ruined the deal, he said simply. And I'm grateful. Tears spilled down her cheeks. She stepped forward. Not into his arms. Not yet. I don't know if I can trust you, she said. I know. But I don't hate you either. Hope flickered in his eyes. That's enough for me, he said. As he turned to leave, she called out. Ethan. He stopped. Don't disappear again. I won't. For the first time, the future felt uncertain. And honest. Backhand index pointing right if you've made it this far. Like and subscribe. The final batch brings the confession, the sacrifice, and the ending that makes this story unforgettable. Maya didn't sleep that night. Not because of fear, but because of choice. For the first time in weeks, the decision was hers alone. She replayed Ethan's face at the door. No suit. No power. No control. Just honesty. The next morning, the city woke to chaos. Coal Air Rejects arranged merger, board in turmoil. Ethan's name was everywhere. Stocks dipped. Phones rang. Threats followed. His father stormed into the office, furious. You destroyed everything, the man barked. For a waitress. Ethan stood calmly. Her name is Maya. She was a tool. No, Ethan said quietly. I was. The inheritance clause was revoked by sunset. Billions gone. Ethan walked out with nothing but his name. And somehow it felt like freedom. Meanwhile, Maya was back at the restaurant. Same uniform. Same shoes. Different heart. When a familiar figure stepped inside, her breath caught. Ethan stood awkwardly near the entrance. People stared. She walked up slowly. You shouldn't be here, she said. I know. People will talk. They already are. She studied him. You look tired. I am. Silence. Then he spoke. I didn't come to ask you back, he said. I came to say thank you. She frowned. For what? For teaching me I can't buy what matters. Her eyes softened. I lost everything, he continued. But I don't regret a word I said to you at the end. She swallowed. You said love ruined the deal. Yes, he replied. And it saved me. Tears welled up. You don't belong here, she whispered. He smiled gently. Neither do you. She laughed through her tears. Then she surprised herself. Sit, she said. He did. She poured him coffee. It's terrible, she warned. He took a sip. Winced. Smiled. Perfect. Weeks passed. Slowly. Carefully. They met without contracts. Without protection. Without power. He helped her mother to appointments, not with money, but with time. She helped him learn how to live small. One evening, they stood on a quiet street. I'm scared, Maya admitted. So am I, Ethan replied. She looked at him. But this time, it's real. He nodded. No deals. No deals, she agreed. He took her hand. Not possessive. Not demanding. Just open. I love you, he said. She breathed in. And chose. I love you too. They didn't need luxury. They didn't need permission. They just needed honesty. And that was everything. If this story touched your heart, like the video and subscribe for more billionaire romance stories filled with kindness, regret, and unforgettable love. Sometimes, the worst deal becomes the greatest love story.